Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to another Marvel Strike Force video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the top 5 offensive teams for War, and we're going to take a look at it in the same way that we looked at the best defensive teams. It's going to be a list of 5. You're going to have 2 honorable mentions, and you're going to have 3 really solid, awesome teams. And I'm trying to stay a little bit away from the meta, but it's hard to do that when these teams were built specific ways. But first, before we jump into that, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. So like I was saying, it's hard to stay away from the meta because we have these cookie cutter teams like Spider-Verse and Avengers and Defenders and things like that. It's hard to really stay away from that, but there are some really good teams in here that break away from that a little bit. So my first team here is going to be the Wakandan team with Kingpin. This is a fantastic team. I don't know if you saw my Blitz video with these guys, but if you haven't, I'm going to go ahead and link it up right here so you can take a look at it. The reason why Kingpin is in there is because Kingpin triggers the defensive abilities of the Wakandan team. So kind of a substitute for Shuri. Shuri has the defense up, also has the heals and things like that as well. So Kingpin is kind of fills that void right now until Shuri can be added to this team. And I mean, it's a fantastic team. You've got the damage that that Killmonger and Okoye do. I mean, they all do a lot of damage. Mr. T over there, him and his taunt and his counters and the charge abilities across the team are just a fantastic complement to each other. I'm really excited to get Shuri added to this team and see how they perform in the raids. And then obviously you have Black Panther there. Black Panther has always been a really solid character. So this team here, number 5 for me, does a great job as an offensive team, not so much as a defensive team. Now, if once Shuri gets added to that team, it may change, because the difference between an offense team and a defense team is that you want to take a look at the defensive teams as what can the AI do well? What abilities can the AI do well? And if there are abilities that are better strategically used when they are player controlled, I think that's better use as an offense team rather than a defense team. So that's kind of how I sorted these lists out. So there you go, the Wakandan team with Kingpin, fantastic team, a lot of fun, and if you haven't tried them out yet, definitely do so. All right, next team is the Spider-Verse team. All right, so I may have some people out there going, wait, hold on. This is one of those meta teams. This is one of those synergistic teams that were put together. Why do you have it as an honorable mention? Well, so the reason is because once you see the other 3 and I work through them, you're going to see why I put the Spider-Verse down as an honorable mention. The Spider-Verse team it's a decent team. I've never really been a huge fan of the Spider-Verse team. I'm obviously putting work into them because you need them for Shuri, but you got Venom and Carnage. I mean, this whole team just does a lot of negative status effects. Spider-Man with his defense down. You got disrupts from Miles Morales. I mean, this team has a lot of good stuff going for it. So it does well. It doesn't do fantastic, but it does well. And this team does do a fairly decent job against some of the meta teams that are out there. So it's number 4 for me. It does pretty well. They're fun characters to a point. I mean, I think out of this whole team here, Spider-Man's probably the best. Carnage is definitely is fun. I like some of the abilities that Green Goblin has. Not a really huge fan of his character model, but as a team, this team does fairly well, and you won't go wrong investing in this team, not only for War, but also for the Shuri Legendary event that's coming up. So that is my reasoning behind the Spider-Verse team. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 3 teams that I consider the best offensive teams for War. All right, and we have this team right here. So, you know, Minerva, I swear, is probably my favorite character in the entire game because she works so well on many different teams. So obviously she's going to be in here. She's got some good bleeds, and she has the healing and the redistribution of health, which does really well. You got Captain Marvel. She's a lot of fun to play around with her binary mode and things like that. She can dispel positive status effects. She also gets a bonus from having a military character in with her on the team. You got the damage bonus between War Machine and Iron Man. You got the synergy between Captain America and Iron Man. You got a bunch of AoE damage here with War Machine, Iron Man, and even Captain Marvel once she goes into binary mode. And then as far as Captain America goes, being the tank there, having Avengers on the team to increase that block chance or that block amount is just makes them even tankier. And with the healing with Minerva, I mean, this team just does a fantastic job. I've taken this team and I have beaten teams that are 200k plus. Very fun team, a lot of synergy wrapped up in this team right here. So you definitely won't go wrong investing into all these characters. Not to mention all these characters do well in a bunch of other teams as well. So definitely a lot of fun. If you haven't tried it, try it and let me know what you think. I don't think this is any surprise at all. The Brotherhood, oh my gosh, fantastic offensive team. Does very well in war, does very well in arena. I mean, this team has a lot going on for it. I mean, just the first move alone with Magneto, bringing everybody together and giving them blind. You've got Pyro's bleeds. You've got Sabretooth, who just shreds tanks. You got Mystique that does turn one. You can choose an enemy and she can turn into that enemy, and in a lot of cases even take that enemy out, or at least bring them way down so that your next attack will take that enemy out. And then Juggernaut is just, well, Juggernaut. He's an awesome tank, does great damage, and just really kind of keeps everything focused on him. He's got a lot of survivability to him. This team here, not very good as a defensive team because, again, with the abilities that this team has with Mystique and Magneto's abilities, even Pyros, almost everybody on this team, the abilities that they have are much better placed in the hands of the player rather than in the hands of the AI. Plus, there's no real sustainability, no healings here, so that's why I don't have this team on the defense list. Does a fantastic job against your shield teams. I mean, there's a lot of people that they call in reinforcements when you come up against the Nick Fury and shield teams that are 200k plus. You just grab one of these Brotherhood teams, take them in there, and go ahead and take that team out. Does very, very well. I know people use the Spider-Verse team as well to go up against the Nick Fury and shield teams as well. Does a fantastic job. Again, great offensive team, a lot of damage, and a lot of fun to play around with. So definitely won't go wrong with this team either. Which brings us to the #1 offensive team, in my opinion, in war. And it's a fantastic team. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. And it is Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. I know. People were wondering, where the heck is this team? Why isn't this team on your defense list? If you've seen my defense video, if you haven't, this team isn't over there, and I'll explain why. The reason is it's a selfish reason for me, because I love playing this team. This team is a lot of fun. This team does a fantastic job in defense. It really, really does. The two most irritating teams for me to go up against in war is going to be the Defenders, which is the #1 on my defense list, but it's also going to be Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. But me, I like playing this team, so I save it for an offense team rather than a defense team. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You got your heals, you got your buffs, you got your AoE damage, you've got your taunts, you got your stealthing, you got your summons from Nick Fury. This team just is a very sustainable team on defense and a very good offensive team to take down a lot of the major teams that are out there. I mean, even a low power team, this team here at 96,000, I've taken teams out that are above 100k. I think I've taken teams out as high as 150k with this team specifically. So just a fantastic team, and you can really put them anywhere, and a lot of fun to play with. If you don't have them, definitely work towards this team. This was the last team that I really picked up, and which is why the team power is so low, and I'm still working on it. But this is the #1 offensive team in the game. I'm really curious what your guys' thoughts are. What are your thoughts about the list? What are your favorite offensive teams? Because I do like thinking of teams that do go away from the meta a little bit more. Sometimes you're kind of pigeonholed in there because other meta teams were meant to be able to take out, like the Brotherhood was meant to take out this team, it seems. And even the Spider-Verse team does very well with all the bleeds and the disrupts and everything, which is good up against the Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. teams as well. So I'm curious, what other team compositions have you put together that have worked really well for you in war? Definitely put that in the comment section below. And there you go, everybody. That's what I had for you tonight. Just a quick video to go over the best offensive teams for war. And I'm really looking forward to the feedback you guys have and the teams that you suggest as well, because those are always fun to take a look at and try as well. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. I truly appreciate it. And if you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.